Welcome back, YouTubers. In 2002, Koskela and Howell made the claim, "The underlying theory of project management is obsolete." In this video, we're going to investigate this claim and ask whether project management, in its current form, will survive the next decade. If you want to keep up with the discussion, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'm Dr. Greg, and welcome to PM 2.0, Rethinking the Profession. There can be no doubt that project management as a practice and discipline has seen significant changes since Koskela and Howell made their controversial statement. Our profession has seen the rise of complex, mega and ultra projects, the impact of the human factors school of thought, and a move towards a projectification of business and organisation. Through it all, our profession has managed to evolve, adapt and grow. But will we continue to do this? Now, for those of you who have been following my channel, you'll notice that there has been a consistent theme. It's the duality that exists in our profession between project management, which is managing the tasks, and project leadership, which is leading the people. Now, this delineation between tasks and people has not been accidental. In fact, I believe it's a critical demarcation that we need to take a much closer look at as our profession evolves. And let me show you why. In my video, The Rise of the Machines, we looked at how AI and machine learning are already beginning to take on the traditional tasks included in the Iron Triangle. Specifically, the tasks associated with the planning, monitoring and controlling of time, cost and quality. Now, as I said in that video, I don't believe that AI and machine learning undertaking these tasks heralds the end of our profession. But I do think it will force us to evolve and adapt yet again. And I think the solution could be linked to Koskela and Howell's claim that the underlying theory of our profession is obsolete. In the research I conducted for my PhD thesis, Creating Confidence Amongst Complexity, I interviewed, surveyed and engaged with a number of practicing project management professionals. One of the things that consistently came through was that their role transcended the traditional project management tasks. In fact, in some cases, the results showed that these professionals felt that doing the tasks associated with the traditional Iron Triangle accounted for less than 30% of their daily role. Now, this piqued my interest, as it seemed to run contrary to everything that I was told we should be doing as project managers. So I started to look beyond the Iron Triangle, and I started to observe what we actually did rather than what we said we did, and what I found was very interesting. So what activity takes up most of a project manager's time? Well, what I found was that it was leading people, or as it was described to me in a number of interviews, herding cats. Now, this insight provides us with a glimmer of hope in relation to the future of our profession. Because although we might think our time is spent managing tasks, it would appear that this is not really the case, and the majority of our time is spent dealing with the human factors of the project. And this is something that AI and machine learning might never really be able to accomplish effectively. So what does this mean for the future of our profession? Well, I'm going to throw an idea out there for you to think about. It's a new Iron Triangle, one that I think not only better reflects our role and future-proofs us against AI and machine learning, but it also provides a potential new theoretical foundation for the profession. So let's have a look at the model. At the centre of this new model is P. This is the project. Now, obviously the reason we exist as a profession is to deliver the project. Delivering projects requires us to balance a number of tensions. So for now, let's designate these points E, F and A. It's important to understand that in this new triangle, it's the tensions between the points that is important, not necessarily the points in themselves. But this will become more apparent as I explain the triangle. In our new Iron Triangle, the E stands for expectations. In my experience, managing the expectations of multiple stakeholders is often the most difficult aspect of our role, especially when there are hidden agendas, misunderstandings, or straight out conflicting expectations of what the project will achieve. The ability to manage the expectation of stakeholders requires an emotional intelligence that AI and machine learning have not yet been able to achieve. And even if they could, I suspect that it will be a while before humans are willing to trust them emotionally. Now I think it's important to point out that I believe the traditional iron triangle of cost, time and quality still resides within this expectation component. Why? Because so many of our stakeholders' expectations are linked to the successful fulfillment of these criteria. So even if AI and machine learning do take over the task side of the role, they're not yet ready to deal with the human side. The second point of our triangle is F, and this stands for feasibility. Within any project, there is a tension between the expectations that the stakeholders have of what the project will deliver and what is feasible in terms of technology, cost, time, and a myriad of other demands. This tension needs to be managed by people who understand both the expectation and the feasibility of what can be accomplished. The third point of our triangle is A, and it stands for actuality. The actuality is the reality of what actually gets delivered by the project. Having been involved in construction project management for over 20 years, I know that there is a big difference between what the stakeholders are expecting, what is feasible, and what actually gets delivered. This difference is a result of a myriad of minor and sometimes major decisions that the project managers, designers and contractors have to make in order to address unforeseen issues throughout the process. These decisions are not always conveyed to stakeholders for a number of reasons, and this can create tensions between expectations and actuality. However, we can also have a tension created between what is feasible in theory and what has to be done in practice. As you can see from this new iron triangle, the landscape for project management is very much focused on the human elements. Balancing these tensions, assuaging fears, creating consensus and brokering compromise between these three forces is far beyond the foreseeable capability of AI and machine learning. And that is our sweet spot. So in summary, I think that as a profession, we need to start positioning ourselves in the human side of the project delivery. Sure, it'll be some time before we're no longer needed in the task space, but in terms of the training, education and skills that we should be developing in the next generation of project management professionals, it could be a completely different skill set to what we've done traditionally. So who knows? Maybe Koskela and Howell were spot on. Maybe the theoretical foundations of project management are becoming obsolete, and maybe we do need to look beyond the traditional project management theory and the foundations of technical based skills and look into new areas like psychology, emotional intelligence and neuro-linguistic programming. Maybe it's time for us, as a profession, to get ready for our next evolution. This has been another presentation from Enso Consulting. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'm Dr. Greg. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon.